Hey guys, we're back with another week of the A-Game. App State football takes a business trip down to Jonesboro to take on the Arkansas State Red Wolves on Tuesday.
Stay tuned as we bring you a recap of this week in App State sports. Appalachian State men's soccer Zyko Harris was named Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week, and App State women's soccer player Jessica Easley was named the Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Week.
The women's basketball team held their first official practice of the season this past week, with the season quickly approaching. We've got a Mountaineer spotlight this week that you don't want to miss. Stick around for our Player of the Week. I'm Austen Lopp.
And I'm Salter, and this is the A-Game.
App State football will be on the road on Tuesday to take on the Red Wolves of Arkansas State in Jonesboro. The Mountaineers are off to a strong start, defeating their last two opponents with ease. But the Red Wolves are the favorite to win the West Division in the Sun Belt Conference and may prove as the toughest challenge yet since the Penn State opener. And Gray, what are a few takeaways that you might have for this week?
You know, when you look at this Arkansas State team, they are going to be a lot better of a competition than Appalachian State has seen so far, maybe since the Penn State opener, like you mentioned. But, you know, at the same time, Appalachian State is first in 6 of 10 major categories in Sun Belt play, really, and the other 4 that they're not first in, they're second in. So, I mean, this team is really dominating on all fronts. Alabama actually is the only other team in FBS football right now averaging 50 points or more and allowing only 20 points or less. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive kind of on both fronts for Appalachian State.
Right, and like you mentioned, App State is first in Sun Belt scoring, third nationally in the nation, 51.8 points a game, also 11th when it comes to total offense, 523.5 points a game, scoring 45 points in the first 3 games of their season. First time in program history they've done that.
Offense is really, really heating up, and the defense is too. I mean, everybody talks about Zach Thomas and what the offense is doing and how great the receiving core is and all these running backs that are averaging all these yards per touch, but the defense really has been impressive. They're first in pretty much all the Sun Belt defensive categories in the sense of like the major ones. They're first in scoring defense, and they're 18th nationally. They're first in total defense. They're 8th nationally in total defense right now. First in rushing defense, first in passing defense, and first in passing efficiency defense in the Sun Belt. So all those things coming together really makes this team a juggernaut for anybody in in-conference play.
And ESPN.com does give the Neers a 75% chance to win, but Arkansas State coming off of a very disappointing loss to Georgia Southern last week, App State coming off that big win to South Alabama, a lot could be cooking here. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but a lot could be cooking here for a little bit of an upset that we wouldn't see coming with just the situation that we're going into.
Yeah, I feel like the Appalachian State are the only people who can really dictate that at this point. I think they've proven that maybe they're above and beyond what Sun Belt competition has been, but for them it's a matter of just, you know, coming into the game, not letting these previous matchups that might be, you know, you might call them cupcake matchups, kind of lull them into a steady pace. They need to come out firing on all cylinders. I really think that wins for them now need to not just be W's on the schedule. They need to be statements. Just when you talk about trying to make some leaps. I think this game looks good for them, though. Arkansas State is a pretty rushing-heavy team. They allow a lot of rushing yards per game versus other teams, and that's going to play into Appalachian State's favor because of all the running backs that App State has in their arsenal. And then when you talk about the flip side for App State defense, Arkansas State likes to throw they throw the ball a lot. They average 120.8 more passing yards per game than they do rushing yards. So that's going to play into App's favor when you talk about that Legion of Boone and how good the secondary is.
Yeah, Clifton gets some more big hits this week.
Yeah,
sure.
That last one last week, man, that was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So big week this week. App State gets 11 AP votes. That's 9 more than they got last week, even without playing a game. You got a nationally televised away game this week that against, like we said, that early season Sun Belt champion favorite. Do you think this is the week that we crack the top 25? What do you think?
I think this is maybe the week that nationally we do start to become a lot more a part of that conversation. You mentioned the 11 votes this week. That is the most App State has had to be in the top 25 in their program history. You know, when you look at the other teams that they have to leap to get into the top 25, I think that kind of plays into, will we make that jump or not? Right now, the AP votes favoring Iowa, Stanford, Washington, and TCU is the only 4 teams with more top 25 votes on that bubble than App State. So, you know, this week, those are maybe 4 teams to key into, you know, kind of keep track of their progress to see, can App State maybe make a push to rise above them? But like I said earlier, I think they need to really keep having some statement victories. It's not just about winning. It's about winning with a purpose and showing the country we're better than the Sun Belt competition that we've been placed into right now.
So just keep doing exactly what we've been doing, and eventually they'll see it.
Absolutely.
The Mountaineers will be back at the Rock to play the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns on Saturday, October 20th.
Coming up after the break, Mountaineer Spotlight host Jay Boyd sat down with Coach Ivey of the football team.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Jay Boyd here for Mountaineer Spotlight with defensive line coach Mark Ivey.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jay.
How you guys feel about the start to the season defensively?
It's been great so far. Our guys have played hard every week, and that's the thing that you try to get consistent. You want to have a standard that you're playing to, and that's something that Coach Satterfield talks about, standard all day, every day. And the guys played hard from game 1, no matter what opponent, to game 2, and all the way up until what we're getting into this coming year.
You guys have done a great job of keeping depth in your defensive line room, and this year you have Myquan Stout, who's the consistent figure. How does it feel to have that leader in your room?
Well, what you mentioned, the depth, is part of what helps us do a great job, because we're able to substitute guys both at practice, which you just saw a few minutes ago, and then on game day, because that keeps those you know, it's a very violent position. You got a lot of banging going on down there, and it saves a lot of those reps so that later in the season, later in the game, those guys are still fresh and still healthy. And then to answer your question about Myquan is he's not only a fantastic physical worker that's been awesome on the field, but Myquan is also just such a great leader. He's a very unselfish young man that even with all the talent and all the physical tools that he has, still does a great job of taking care of his other teammates by leading both by example, by verbal, and just the way he carries himself all day, every day.
How do you guys continue to develop that depth at the D-line position?
Well, what we've got to do, obviously, as a staff, all spring and summer, is recruit great football players, number 1. But number 2, we've taken a lot of great pride, and when I say we, I'm talking about the players, and you know, understanding that it's not just going to be those first 3 guys, because we're a 3-4 defense. They go out and play, but everybody's got to be prepared to play all day on Saturday and all week long. So no doubt the first group has got to be no less prepared or more prepared than the second and the third, and we've actually got our 4s out there quite a few times this year, which has been great.
You guys have like kind of a weird transition. You play on Saturday, you beat South Alabama here at home.
Yep. Then
you wait a week and you go all the way to Tuesday waiting on Arkansas State down there in Jonesboro, and then you'll have another long waiting to come back here to Kid Brewer to play another home game. How do you guys prepare with those weird breaks?
Well, it is, no doubt it's different, you know. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know, but it's what we've got to deal with. And the other teams are dealing with the exact same thing. So if you look at it as a pro or as a con, either way, their coaches and their players are dealing with the same issues. So it's which team is going to be able to handle those different situations better. And, you know, we just started our normal work week on next Tuesday, and we work backwards and treat each day as if it were one regular game week. So we started, you know, like Sunday was our Wednesday, and we've been working forward from there. So today was our normal Tuesday, and everything should be on course. So as long as the guys get their mind frames right and understand that each day of preparation needs to be the exact same as if this was a normal Sunday through Saturday week, and understand how important our preparation each day is, then we'll be absolutely fine. And on that short week, again, they'll be in the same boat that we're in. They're going to have to to prepare just like we will. And again, whichever staff and whichever players decide, hey, we're going to get ready in 5 days better than the other group, will be better. Now that will be different, because you can't backdate it for 7 days because you've only got 5. So you've got to condense it a little bit. But Coach Satterfield always has a great plan for us. Coach Brown will have a great plan for us. And so we'll all work together with them to make sure that the guys, the players, who are the only ones that really matter, because on Saturdays or Thursdays or Tuesdays, they're the ones performing. So we'll try to get them prepared in a consistent manner, whether it's a longer period of time or a shorter period of time, so that on game day they've got all the right information and can move quickly and confidently. That's the key, making sure they're confident in what they're going to do on game participation.
How do you guys prepare week to week for a different offense? You get a different look every week. How do you guys move from week to week?
Well, I tell you, one of the key factors, and our guys do an excellent job, is getting our scout team to give us a look during the week that can prepare us. Obviously, as coaches, we come in on Sundays, and after we've graded the day before and put that behind us and shared with our kids things that we did well and things we can improve upon, then we start looking at what the new team does, and then we start getting everything drawn up, whether it be the runs or the passes or the different things that they do. Start trying to chart how we think we can prepare to stop them. But I tell you, a really important factor is if the scout team offense comes out and blocks it the way they're going to block it. If the running backs and the quarterbacks and the receivers can give us as close to what we're going to see on game day as during the week. And if we can do that, then it sure helps us prepare, and it helps us win those games on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, so that Saturday is a lot of confidence and a lot of speed and playing with just a lot of passion about what we're doing.
You guys have spent a lot of time as a defensive line in the backfield this year. How do you continue to motivate your guys to bring it every week?
Well, that's the thing. If you ever do allow yourself to feel like you've arrived or that you have accomplished everything you wanted in the beginning or middle of a season, then you're going to hit some road bumps that won't be pleasant, and then you'll have to regroup. You hope to never do that. So I think they do a good job of understanding that week to week, everybody we play is trying to give their best effort to beat us. Their coaches and their players are no different than us wanting to win. They want to win the conference. They want to win that individual ball game. They want to make a bowl game, all those different things. So if you don't stay self-motivated and then unit motivated, and then obviously the defense and then the whole team, then eventually somebody sneaks up on you that shouldn't beat you. And they understand that, and we continually remind them of that. But the more important thing is, as you know, if it comes from within, if those guys remind each other and make sure that they lead and teach that to themselves, then that'll never be an issue. If it comes from within, it's much better than if it's coming from us, no doubt.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
No doubt. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Jay Boyd, Mountaineer Spotlight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jay. Really starting to make sense why that defense is so stout.
My co-host Austen Lopp hit the Appalachian State University campus to see if our students are as familiar with the athletes as we are.
I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'm going to have you guys answer one question, just one question. Does this person play at App State? Okay? All right, this is the first one. First one, this fella. Does he play for the App State Mountaineers?
I'm going to vote no. I'm going to say no to him.
This is Clifton Duck. He does, yes.
Okay.
All right, okay, up next. I'll give you this. Okay, I got you another one. All right, one more. All right, does this guy play or go to Appalachian State University?
Oh, God. Now I'm nervous. I got one wrong. I feel like no still. I also feel a no.
No? Okay, yes. This is Devin Booker. Devin Booker does not go here. Congratulations. All right, okay, last one. Does this fella go to Appalachian State University?
Sure. He was dressed the same as the other guy who played, so I'm going to say yes.
Yes, this is Zach Thomas. Now they're using deductive reasoning, which is why we're here. All right, bonus round. This guy, does he go here?
No.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
This is Anthony Mackie. He's just a stud. I just wanted to show him that picture. This man, does he go to Appalachian State?
Based on his black and gold tie, I'd say yes.
Okay.
It's the tie.
Can you bonus round? Can you tell me what sport he plays?
Football.
Basketball.
We got this guy over here. Football. This is Clifton Duck. Congratulations. All right, next. This fella. Does he go to App State?
Oh, he sure doesn't.
No, absolutely
No?
not.
Okay, do you know who that is?
It's
It's Devin Booker, NBA basketball player. These guys are on a roll. They know exactly what they're talking about. All right, we're going to scroll out. Do you know who that guy is?
I feel like I've seen him before.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen him strolling through campus, so he goes.
So
to
he
App.
definitely goes to App. This is Zach Thomas. These guys are on fire. I am here with Ziggy. We have a few questions for you, Ziggy. First off, how's it being a dog these days? Riveting stuff. How's the fetch environment around here? You really getting some good laps in? Thanks, Austin. Excellent interview. Probably the hardest part, was talking to several of those students, but nothing was more rough than having to try and talk to that dog. Get it? Rough.
Coming up next on the A Game, we will give you coverage of the women's basketball team gearing up for the season, along with soccer, volleyball, and field hockey. Stay with us.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
The women's basketball team opened the 2018-19 season on Tuesday, October 2nd, with their first official practice. The practice was intense, with energy and a mindset of getting better all around. The Black and Gold competed offensive and defensive stations and played against the scout team in various up-tempo situations and in the half court. The team had some fun with some shooting contests and worked on free throws as well. All 10 of App State's active players will return from the 2017-18 season, including third-team All-Sun Belt selection and conference leading rebounder Bailey Plummer. The Mountaineers will welcome 4 talented freshmen from Texas, Virginia, and North Carolina this season. The App State women's basketball team is 38 days away from a season opener at the University of Alabama at Birmingham on November 9th. The Black and Gold are set to face 5 teams who went to the postseason and had at least 20 wins altogether. Appalachian will face 3 Power 5 schools, Georgia Tech, Clemson, and the 2017 national champion, South Carolina. The women's basketball home opener is on November 15th against the University of North Carolina, Greensboro.
Appalachian State volleyball fell to Little Rock in 3 straight sets Friday evening. This is the Mountaineers' first conference setback of the season. Their Sun Belt record is now 4-1. They are 12-5 on the season so far. Kara Spicer had a match high, tying 10 kills against the 2 errors on 19 tries. She recorded a .421 hitting percentage. Spicer tied her career high 8 digs, adding 3 blocks. Emma Longley registered 10 kills, Melissa McMath tallied 6, and Anna Kincaid added 5. Longley has now reached double-digit kills in 8 consecutive matches in 9 of her last 10. Becky Porter recorded 21 assists and 9 digs, as well as Emma Riley having 16 digs herself. The Black and Gold totaled 40 kills in the match and hit .137, while Little Rock had 42 kills and hit .254. Appalachian State volleyball team bounced back after the loss to Little Rock and defeated Arkansas State 3-2 on Sunday afternoon inside the Holmes Convocation Center. The victory marks the first time the Mountaineers have ever defeated the Red Wolves. Emma Longley had a season-high 29 kills. Victoria Wilform tied her season-high with 16 kills, while Melissa McMath recorded 11. Kara Spicer had 9 kills and 5 blocks as well herself. Becky Porter had a team-leading 8th double-double, tying her career high with 59 assists and recording a new career best in digs with 16. Emma Riley tallied a career high 28 digs, while Sydney Farthing had 11 digs. As a team, Appalachian State recorded 71 kills in the win. The Mountaineers will be on the road next weekend in Texas. App State will battle West Division leader Texas State at 7:30 p.m. on Friday and UT Arlington on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. as well.
App State women's soccer fell 1-0 to Texas State at home on Friday evening. The game was a defensive battle between the only undefeated teams in conference play and 2 of the top 3 scoring programs in the country. The only goal came in the 69th minute of the game by Texas State Bobcat Genesis Turman. The Mountaineers played strong and gave the league's top defense with only 12 goals allowed, all they could handle, but could not get a goal on the board. Taylor Ray posted at least 5 game saves for the second straight game with 6 stops in 90 minutes. Appalachian bounced back a day later against Louisiana on Sunday for Senior Day at 12 p.m. The women's soccer was victorious against Louisiana with a 1-0 win on Sunday afternoon at Ted Mackerel Soccer Complex. Before the match, Appalachian recognized 8 seniors and student trainers from their dedication and commitment to the program. The game-winning goal came from senior Emily Cowie's shot in the 33rd minute of the contest, and it's what the Black and Gold needed. It was Cowie's first goal of the season and her 3rd game-winning score of her career. Appalachian had an 8-6 edge in shots and went on 4-2 in shots on goal. The Black and Gold and Raging Cajuns posted a 5-5 tie in corner kicks. The Mountaineers will play at home next Friday against Georgia State at 7 p.m.
The App State men's soccer team and the Georgia State Panthers played to a 0-0 draw in the Sun Belt Conference opener at the Ted Mackerel Soccer Complex on Saturday evening. The matchup featured the top 2 defenses and the top 2 goalkeepers in the Sun Belt Conference. The Black and Gold earned the 5th shutout of the season on Saturday, which is a league best. It's also the 2nd straight year the contest between the Mountaineers and the Panthers ended in a 0-0 tie. Appalachian had a 13-6 edge in shots and a 12-6 edge in corner kicks. The Mountaineers will return to action Wednesday at 7 p.m. against UAB in Birmingham.
The App State field hockey team had its 3rd straight overtime defeat, 3-2, to the St. Francis Red Flash Friday night at Adcock Field. Freshman Frederick Stegen put the Mountaineers up 1-0 less than 3 minutes into the game. St. Francis responded with 2 goals just 16 minutes into the game. Verl Van Hertem had 8 shots for Appalachian, 4 shots on target and a goal. Stegen finished with 1 goal and 4 shots, 2 of which were on frame. In the 56th minute, Verl Van Hertem fired a shot from the top left of the circle to bring the game back to a 2-2 tie. Bria Seabrook for St. Francis had the game-winning goal in overtime off of a red flash penalty corner kick. The Mountaineers returned to action on Sunday at Wake Forest at 1 p.m. in Winston-Salem. The App State field hockey fell to number 16 Wake Forest 8-3 on the road. The Demon Deacons entered Sunday's contest winners in 5 of their previous 7 games. Appalachian State had a trio of second-half scores, all from different student athletes. Appalachian State will return home Friday for senior night at Adcock Field. The Mountaineers battle MAC opponent Central Michigan at 6 p.m.
The App State men's tennis team recorded 19 wins at the Davidson Fall Invitational this weekend, hosted by the Wildcats. The Mountaineers faced USC Upstate, Queens, and Davidson in singles and doubles action. 3 of 4 doubles tandems earned multiple wins, while 4 Mountaineers picked up multiple singles victories. On day 1, Appalachian faced Queens in singles play and Davidson in singles and doubles competition. App State captured 6 of 8 singles contests against Queens to get the Mountaineers off to a strong start for the Invitational. Milo Bargeron and Zion Heaven earned victories over the Davidson Wildcats. Bargeron defeated Mason in straight sets, and Heaven earned a win against Green. In doubles play against Davidson, Webster and Heaven won as the top tandem in the lineup. Bargeron and Bree were in 3rd place, defeating the pairing of Rose and Green. On the 2nd day, the Black and Gold faced USC Upstate in singles and doubles play and Queens in doubles play. Ben Webster was one of 3 players to earn a singles win against USC Upstate. Campbell Stone registered a win over Russworm, and Blake Carter notched a win over Shiano. The Mountaineers swept doubles against Queens with all 4 doubles tandems. Alex Pavkovich and Ben Stone picked up the first 2 wins on Sunday as the number 2 pairing in the lineup. Blake Carter and Will Hart also earned their first win of the weekend against Queens. Finishing up the Invitational was the doubles matchup against USC Upstate. Pavkovich and Stone won over Ebel and Neto before Bargeron and Bree recorded a weekend-leading 3rd win as a duo over Percy and Shiano. The Black and Gold will return to action in 2 weeks at the ITA Regionals hosted by Duke in Cary, North Carolina.
Now it's time for our Player of the Week. Our Player of the Week is a football player, but not from the pitch that you might be thinking of. We look to men's soccer defender Zico Harris.
The sophomore earned Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week honors at the center back position of all places after getting 2 scores on 3 shots on goal to seal a 3-0 win against George Mason.
Harris joined the Mountaineers as an international star from Bermuda after earning All-American honors at South Kent High School in 2016.
Harris and the Mountaineer men's soccer team will head out of town to take on UAB on October 10th. But that's going to do it for us here on this episode of the A Game on AppTV. Thanks for watching. I'm Gray Salter.
I'm Austen Lopp. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.